Hi, my name is Caleb Bartlett, and this is week 13 of Medieval Barbarian History. Geary dismantles the nationalist myths about how the nations of Europe were born. The nationalist sentiments today, increasingly taken for granted in Europe, emerged only in the 19th century. This ethnicity has been kept alive by the citizens and historical scholars. The actual formation of the group of people must have been seen as extended process that began in the 19th century and continues to present. This image is a contradiction to those who claim that immigration and tolerance toward minorities ruins a nation. Geary makes an example that Europeans honor a sense of homogeneous identities when even the Huns were firmly united only under Attila's 10-year reign. He also analyzes the Roman view of barbarian incursion, how they absorbed the different peoples once order broke down, and then what came after the Dark Ages. Basically, his argument is that ethnicity is a myth. People agreed around competent leaders as they built empires or opposed oppressors. People joined, learned the languages of the leadership group, and adapted identities. The idea that ethnic groups were long-standing and had a history are book. Previous readings, in my opinion, researched and viewed ethnicity by studying graves, pottery, and lifestyles of archaeological digs or ancient manuscripts. In doing so, we are studying the trees but ignoring the forest. Bolget makes a point that communication and or migration would be constantly changing and identities of a group of people. Global history must place the relationship and interaction of people, cultures, and religion at this core. Cross-culture contacts and assimilation of foreigners would have had a profound effect on a population's identity. His examples include the foreigners would have had His examples include the hopeful well exchange system of the Eastern United States and the Incas' extensive road system. Each example demonstrated groups exchanging goods and interacting with foreigners. Personally, I believe that ethnicity is a melting point of identities based on survival. During the period of hunter-provider communities, survival would have been based on good soil, abundant wildlife, and security. When that was not available, they would be required to migrate or die. Throw into the mix the greed of mankind, social groups were conquered and absorbed or migrated for survival. The interaction of groups led into development of laws, language, religion, and culture. Trying to describe the culture by studying a particular society at the particular time in history is ignoring the ever-present influences of foreigners. So my question for this week is, in light of the archaeological finds of Vikings in North America, hundreds of years before Columbus, or the Polynesians sailing the Pacific in wooden boats, how can we not think that all society is built by an interaction of societies? Thanks.